Like just your name, but it'll like just
We're
cut to the
going
action
now.
figure. Oh, hi, everyone, and welcome to Thursday Live Lessons. My name is Aldrine Guerrero. I am joined by Mr. Kahai, the legend Fergus, and Mr. Aaron, the voice Nakamura. Say what's up, Kahai and Aaron.
What's
Hey,
up?
what's up?
Yay, see? So since we were late, let's try to kill some time, which I just spent just now trying to explain what I did. So how Thursday Live Lesson works is you guys have questions and we answer them to our best abilities. I'll try to answer them as best as I can. These two dudes will come up with their answers and we'll put them together for a super answer just for you. We are live and we do have a live chat via Ukulele Underground Plus. If you guys want to interact with us, ask us questions, anything that you want. AMA, ask me anything, or AUA, ask us anything. If you guys want to know stuff about Kahai, what's Kahai's favorite foods, like you can ask. It's fine. Kahai, right? It's cool to ask those kind of questions, right?
Mm-hmm. It's like Animal Crossing. Your neighbors ask you, "What's your favorite food? Is it this or this?" And then you go like, it's neither. It's pizza, actually."
Pizza. I've had takeout twice or delivery twice in my house, and I've been pretty proud of cooking like this throughout this whole ordeal with the thing that's going on outside. And one of them was pizza. The second one was KFC, which are both like just down the street from my house.
Yeah.
And I have to say, okay, before we get started with this whole Thursday Live Lesson thing, I saw online, and the reason why I got KFC is because I saw online that if you take a couple pieces of KFC chicken and you make rice and you put it in the rice cooker and like the rice cooks with that KFC chicken inside, it's delicious. And I tried it. And my God, I'm gonna go buy a bucket again. I think, just not to eat, but like just to put in my rice cooker. Like it's so good. So if you guys out
Pro
there
tip.
are not vegans or anything like that, because if you really want to live life on the edge of this whole whatever is going on outside, get yourself a bucket of KFC. Just put a couple of those in your rice cooker as it cooks. You have to cook with it. So I just put like
original
or whatever, whatever you're into, extra crispy, because extra crispy is good with like those little crispy bits, because it'll just like get dispersed and stuff. But like the spices from the chicken goes into the rice and like the oils and what it's so good. The chicken is still good, with it, but like the rice, it's delicious. It's pro tip for anyone out there that is like, oh, you know what, what should I get? What kind of takeout should I get? KFC, just hands down.
Yeah,
so good.
Rob just mentioned that he thinks one of the most fun times during the retreat was when we went to the shopping center and there was the hot dogs. So
oh yeah, the hot dog is good. The hot dog he's talking about is puka dogs.
Yep.
OG here on Kauai, and I think someone tried to buy that franchise and start a hula dog on Oahu, but they couldn't buy it. I think the puka dog name. So if you go to a hula dog on any other island, it's basically the same thing as a puka dog here on Kauai. But we are OG Kauai. It's like the best like fruits based relish that I've ever had in my life. It's pretty good. I like it, but it's like $10 a hot dog now. It's like super expensive. $10 a hot dog at Costco. It's like $1.50 or something with a drink,
with a drink.
Anyway, this isn't food hour. What Thursday Live Lesson is, we're gonna answer any and all of your ukulele questions and whatever. Like I said, I'll just answer whatever you guys want me to. So, Kahai, go ahead and give me the first question, please.
Okay, this one is kind of a doozy. So this is from Will, and he says, if you want to start a practice session, what do you suggest that would warm up and get the motivation moving? I always seem to want to get moving forward, but get stymied and a little frustrated. I'm an advanced beginner. I've been doing the songs and the song lessons. They're super, but where do you guys go or where do you guys go? And he says he goes to Ultimate Guitar and he finds backing tracks and stuff. But he's thinking maybe he's doing too much of that and he should move away from that. but he was wondering what did we do when we were learning too.
I mean, I think I've said it like kind of a lot in our previous, in our previous episodes that like I just kind of played like an entire CD and stuff. But now with like, or I played with an entire CD, but now we have technology and we have playlists and stuff. So what I would suggest is creating like a playlist. If you're doing a practice session, is creating a playlist of songs that you want to either practice or really well. So and the ones that really well, let's get started with that one first. It's not necessarily going to work on your skills and learning new things because it's stuff that you already know really well, but it's just kind of making sure that you don't get rusty. Like your rhythm is still there because you're going to be following it. Every note, every chord and stuff, every pattern that there is to know about the song. So try to play it as best as you can along with the recording on the playlist or whatever playlist that you made, and just kind of keep going. Do it as best you can. Do it as clean as you can, and just kind of fine tune what you already know. And then I would make a playlist of stuff that I don't know or things that I'm currently working on, and those things I would just kind of like let go and I'll just kind of play throughout and not not go back to any one part or whatever, but just try as best as I can to play the song. If I'm really if I really want to get down into it, I would stop after every song and be like, okay, cool, there's this part that I didn't quite get, like and if you can just get like the chord sheets, like ready to kind of look at while you're playing the song, so that you know what chords are supposed to do, because it's supposed to be a song that you don't know. So you can kind of mark, or you can make mental notes on which parts needs a little bit of work. And then that's when I would go back and be like, okay, let me listen to that again. I didn't quite get that part. And that's like a good effective like practice session for me. And if you just want to work on just technique, so that's like songs and stuff, we do have practice sessions on Ukulele Underground that you can kind of check out, and that works on your speed, on your dexterity, and scales and whatnot. So you can always use those to practice. But if you're purely asking me what worked for me when I was when I was starting out, that's basically it. Especially as a if advanced beginner is a funny like two word, like if you're an advanced beginner, that's that's basically what I would do. I would just kind of work on rhythm, because if I was an advanced beginner, the word beginner to it means that I can't really do picking and stuff yet. Okay, so if I'm an advanced beginner, that would mean that I can do chords and I'm pretty good at strumming those chords. And that's why I'm talking about just like the chord sheets, get them ready, like and make a playlist and just kind of play with those. It'll act kind of like a virtual ukulele club, kind of like how we do on Aloha Friday Live Jams. That's another way to kind of do it. Just watch like the replays of Aloha Friday Live Jams, so you can kind of get the chords right there in front of you, play along with me and Aaron and stuff. But really, as an advanced beginner, I would just kind of work on making sure I have a solid rhythm, and make sure that my chord changes are nice and clean and nice and solid. So either make a playlist, watch the replays of a Aloha Friday Live Jam, or well, the playlist is mainly for if you don't want if you don't want to be playing the songs that we're playing, and if you want to make a stuff of your stuff that you choose, that's where the playlist kind of happens. I don't know, that's how I would do it if I was a beginner in this age. But there's also the advice that I give to every single private student that kind of comes along, which is to choose 2 to 3 songs every week. Okay, 2 to 3 songs, like song lessons that we have. Choose 2 to 3 of those, and then learn as much as you can from the 2 to 3 songs that you pick. And once the week is over, put those 2 to 3 songs away, because I really can't be hearing the old excuse of I've been working on the song for 5 months and I still can't get it or whatever. Like, you shouldn't be working on a tune for, or just that tune for that long. So 2 3 songs that week. If you just learn one new chord that week, awesome. If you learn a whole progression that week, even better. If you learn the progression and the strum that week, super. If you learn the progression, the rhythm, and a little bit of picking, or if you learn all of it, muy bueno. Okay, so after that week is over, for the next week, put the songs from the last week away. Pick 2 or 3 new songs, and then if you just learn one new chord, all great. Or same exact thing. You do it until the month is over. um, if you're really, really, really ambitious, you can also put one UU plus solo for the month. So those are your weekly goals. You have a month goal, and then whatever you don't learn, like I said, put it away. Now, when the new month starts, you have the first week. So the first week of the new month, pick your 2 to 3 songs plus 1 or 2 that you're gonna add in for that week of the song that you had one of the songs from last month. That's kind of a way to measure yourself, because you are gonna get better. And the point is to take small steps forward instead of trying to learn one song, getting frustrated, and then quitting. So just learn as much as you can. Pick up little things, little things along the way. The next month, um, when you add one of the songs from the past, it should be one of the songs that you couldn't quite finish, and you're gonna notice how much better you've gotten. You're gonna notice that you're gonna move on just a little bit further, even if you don't finish that. Don't get encouraged. Don't get discouraged, because what's encouraging is that you might get past where you were. Like that one chord that was a little bit hard last month might not be as hard, because you're exposing yourself to new things all the time, and you're also increasing your repertoire of songs to play. A lot of the times when I ask the private students, like, oh, I need you to play a couple songs for me, one song you know really well and one song that you don't know that well, and they're like, well, I don't really know songs, but I can play this, I can play that, or whatever. Like almost like 80% of the people that I ask, to play this song don't quite know a song, even if they consider themselves as like an intermediate student. Like a lot don't play a song for me. So in that case, if someone asks you to play a song, you know a little bit from a bunch of songs. You can at least like play something. So you're increasing your repertoire, you're taking small steps forward, and you're not like all constantly just hitting a wall like every day, and you're gonna get frustrated. You're gonna want to keep playing more. You're gonna want to keep learning more. And I think as an advanced beginner, that is a great practice session. What do
Yeah.
you guys think?
Yeah, pretty much that. Like Rob kind of he has something that's pretty like relevant to now. He says,
Yeah.
knowing how and what I play, where would be the best lesson for me to start? Intermediate, advanced. Different people seem to do these levels in different ways, and I think
Mm-hmm.
he's saying that different people categorize it differently, right? So that's why
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people come in and they're like, well, I'm a advanced beginner, and then we look at what they can do and we're like, yeah, it's fine to call yourself that, but
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
like on our scale, you might not be hitting that like
Yeah.
that stage yet, right?
And yeah, I mean, based on what I know, is this the same Rob
Yeah,
from the
yeah,
retreat?
yeah.
Okay, just based on what I know and stuff, and don't take this the wrong way, but I think you should work on consistency, because I know you like there's like a lot of things that but I think you should work on your fundamentals, and I think the fundamentals should be solid before like you start to like learn all these other things. And I'm not saying don't like dabble in all these other things, because it's fun. It's fun to check out all like all these advanced things, because I'm not like as advanced as most people would think, but I watched guys like what's that, Jacob Collier, what is that guy's
Jacob
name?
Collier, yeah.
Yeah, I like watched one of his things and I get lost at like level 5 out of 11 or 12 or
You
something. And I'm like, but I keep
you
watching
can't
because it's interesting.
you can't write songs in half sharps or half flats. Get out of here.
I can sing in half sharps and half flats.
Not on purpose.
Yeah, no.
You don't
but
you don't create your own tuning system to make a song. Not a real
but
musician.
but what I would do, for Rob and stuff, I think I would work on consistency and getting the fundamentals down. And what that means is, because I know you're a great player, and I know you can kind of play and stuff and playing by yourself and whatnot. But the ultimate test really is if you can kind of play with like I said, with the recording, or even with others, like and not like making your own kind of thing. Like I know you can do that, but like playing what, like just following like what they're doing. And I know you want to like add this thing here, but you need to be consistent with the fundamentals. And I think that's what's very, very, very important, is because if the rhythm is a little bit wonky, or like some techniques are a little bit wonky, like, you know, rolls, chunks, and anything else, but just having a consistent rhythm is like one thing too. But I think those are what you need to kind of work on, is the fundamentals, and making sure that those are nice and clean. I mean, not like I said, not saying that you shouldn't dabble with other things, because I think you should, but your main focus should be on becoming consistent, and that's like the main word is consistency. That you can kind of, you know, like hold a consistent like rhythm pattern like throughout the entire song, without without kind of without any of the wheels falling
Deviating.
off the wagon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Deviating without speeding up, without slowing down. Those are the things. And you know, if I'm gonna be honest, those are things that sometimes I need to work on. You know, and I need to just kind of stop and do that exercise of just, okay, well, I'm gonna put something on and see if I can consistently like jam along with somebody, because I'm, you know, as consistent as I am 90% of the time, I want to be consistent 100% of the time. You know, and I think that's what most people should work on. It's not just you. I think, you know, a lot of people, because there's a lot of ukulele content out there. You know what I mean? And it's just so easy to be like, oh, I'm gonna learn this now. Oh, I'm gonna learn that. I'm gonna learn this. But then like, you know, like kind of learning a little bit of it, and then like kind of moving on to you know, to something else. But kind of working on those fundamentals, and being solid with a solid rhythm, solid right hand, solid left hand, that like even just like beginning chords and stuff, or chords with extensions on it, you know, not necessarily fancy schmancy chords, because we can get to those later, but being consistent with you know, with your basic chords, and even just basic extensions would be pretty good, or just chords and inversions. Like that's not, we're not even talking about the sus9 add 4 15s or whatever. I'm talking like f f f f, you know, like if you can be consistent with those, with a consistent rhythm and consistent technique on your right hand with the rhythm, I think that's what everyone should be kind of focused on. Consistency. Yeah.
I think if you can do that, you would be like, if you can strum like things like that, and you can play inversions, and you can play chords that you're not like, you wouldn't look at a chord chart and be like, oh, E, that's scary. Like if you can do all that, then you're kind of like already in the intermediate section, I would say.
Yeah.
Like, but that's where it's like people think like, oh, I can play all the, you know, I can play C, F, G, so I must be beginner moving on to intermediate. It's like,
right.
Yeah, you there's a whole lot of beginner first before you move on to the rest of, you know, intermediate and advanced. And it's like we said before, it's not a bad thing to say you're a beginner, you know.
Beginner's not a dirty word.
Yeah. And then also the way that, like for Ukulele Underground, the way that we categorize songs, we just kind of put them into the groups that we think they should go into. Just, you know, they, like a beginner song has pretty beginner chords, and then an intermediate song might have a little bit, you know, fancier chords, or chords that you might not be familiar with, and then advanced usually has more kind of advanced picking. And so all of those things have beginner elements to them. So if you really like that song, like feel free to click on it and see what it entails, and then just work on as far as you can get, based on your current skill level. Don't be afraid of the song just because it's categorized as something like a little bit more beyond you. You don't have to do all of the things that are involved in creating that entire song. You can just do, you know, some simple stuff. So so kind of keep that in mind as well.
We get
because I think for me, when I was kind of learning ukulele or learning music in general, the thing that kept me going was songs that I liked, you know. So even if they were too hard for me, like I couldn't play the E chord for like years actually, you know, like with a bar. And so any song that had an E chord, I just like did my own little fingering to it, and it, you know, some strings were muted, but like I just played it until the point where I could do it, So yeah, you just kind of keep going. If you like the song, it'll inspire you to play more, and that's, like, as far as your longevity of your ukulele playing career, like that's kind of important too. So yeah, just be interested in the songs that you're playing and learning.
That's kind of why you said, like, you, Aldrine, said to pick 2 songs a week too, right? Because like people say, like, oh, but this is my favorite song of all time, and it's my ultimate goal to be able to play this song. And then when they go to it and it's too hard for them, they just like, oh, well, I guess I should just give up and not play anything at all. I can't do that. But it's like there's much.
It becomes frustrating. So it's not your favorite song anymore.
But there's so much other music out there that can be. It might not be your favorite song, but you'll have fun playing it. So and I still have songs on guitar that I spent years trying to learn, and I still don't have it, but I don't not enjoy it as much now. And I still go back, and when I can play a little bit more, it's like, nice, I got a little bit better. So I think that's the way to like look at it. Don't like look at it like, that's the end goal, and once I reach it, I'm gonna be happy. Because then it's like you're never gonna be happy. Then it's like, really enjoy everything. Try and enjoy all of it. From the get go if you can.
What is your end goal song, Kahai? What's a song that you like? Oh, okay. Well, one day I'm gonna be able to play this.
Cliffs of
that goes against everything that Kahai just said.
Yeah, it does.
No, because he mentioned like he mentioned that there is there is some songs that like like it's a maybe not end goal, but it's like a big, maybe a stretch goal. Like what's your stretch goal song, Kahai? What's something that you feel like it would be nice to play that one day?
I've been working on this this metal song on guitar called "Welcome Home" from Coheed and Cambria for like the longest time. And like when you watch the guys play it, it's like a guy with like a double neck guitar, and they're like shredding and stuff, right? So it's like I just learned a little bit of the solo, and I'm like, ooh, I did pretty good today. And, it's like, and I've been working on that song for years. So I don't feel, I don't know, I don't feel bad about saying that, like. And like Cliffs of Dover and all these other songs too. There's more songs than you'll ever be able to learn, like everything. So in that sense, if you kind of look at it too, it's like exciting to know that like, there's always new music out there that I'm gonna be able to learn or figure out or do something to. There's no end to it.
Yeah. With the ukulele before, I was like, like my one goal, like if I could play that song, I'd be super happy, was Turkish March, like when I was in high school, because my favorite movie growing up was well, music wise, was Crossroads, because like he was playing Turkish March in that show. I was like, man, I'm gonna play that on my ukulele, and that's gonna be my goal and stuff. And I did it. And so my new goal with ukulele, so it's like I guess there's no end in that sense. No end goal. Once I reach that, there's like an even bigger boss that I gotta fight with this in this life video game a music video game that I have, and that's Vivaldi's Winter. I've always wanted to. Yes. So that's the bigger boss that I have right now. If I could create an ukulele arrangement for Vivaldi's Winter, I think that I would beat this boss stage, but that's pretty far from now. Guitar wise, at first I was like, if I could learn Samba Pati on guitar, I'd be happy. And then now I know how to play Samba Pati. But my new guitar goal is Eugene's Trick Bag. If I can learn Eugene's Trick Bag, I think I can just quit guitar altogether and just focus on ukulele. If I can play that, I think I'm good.
Yeah.
How about you, Aaron? What are your stretch goals?
I don't really play hard songs. I think I only learned ukulele and guitar as like an accompaniment for voice, because I just like singing. That was kind of the goal. So usually there's not anything that is like kind of beyond what I would be able to play anyway. But before all of this happened, I really wanted to play Your Smiling Face by James Taylor. It's like figure out a good arrangement for that.
That's a good one.
Because it has like 3 key changes. And so I've been working on it. And
cool.
Yeah. It's fun, but it's a little daunting because it's kind of like that whole thing where, because like if you're gonna sing it and play it at the same time, it's like patting your belly and rubbing your head, you know. So I've still been working at it, and I don't know if we're ever gonna get to be able to go back to playing live music anymore.
Hey, well, don't say that.
Yeah.
I need to make rent.
When we do,
when we do,
that's what I want to do. That's a song that I want to play.
Oh, cool. Yeah, You're Smiling. That's a good song, man.
Yeah.
It's a good song.
I like the idea that Aldrine learned a song just in case he was ever challenged by Steve Vai to a guitar battle.
Yes.
For his soul, right?
It's like, gotta play for my soul, man.
It's like, oh, you can't win. You don't know the blues, boy. And then you start busting out the classical, right? It's like, oh, Steve Vai can't play that.
I didn't get too far, but I have some parts down with that song, with Eugene's Trick Bag. I need to get better at the arpeggios in the beginning, but I can kind of do the arpeggios. And I can do like the first part of the I can kind of do it, but like not on uke. I can do way better on guitar and stuff. Like I'm trying to do the uke. I'm like, wait, where am I?
I promise I can do it.
I can do it pretty okay.
It sounds like when Steve Vai actually tries it and then he stops. He's just like, and he puts down the guitar and he walks away.
Even on Winter, I kind of got a little bit of Winter, but it's like those crazy arpeggios. I'm like, how am I supposed to do those crazy arpeggios on ukulele? Like, but that's the challenge, you know. I gotta figure it out. If it was easy, would it be a stretch goal? I guess, you know.
You need to be Imua Garza.
That's my life goal.
To become Imua Garza.
Oh man. I can't even do a proper kickflip. How am I supposed to be like Imua Garza? It's cool because I've been a long time like Imua Garza and OP Pickers fan. And back on the old OP Pickers website, like there were like skate videos that like Imua Garza put up. Yes. And it's like him doing like cool little skate moves and stuff. I'm like, I'll never be as good as Imua Garza. You can do
anything.
You can do a proper kickflip and I can't.
Would you wake up from bed in your pajamas, grab your uke, and skate down like the hallway, and then you're playing uke with your friend?
Yeah. Oh man, it was cool though. I miss watching his skate videos every week. Such a Imua Garza fan, and we're the same age. It's like one of those. Like, I look up to that guy, but he's like we're the same age. You can't look up to somebody the same age as you, Kahai. That's not cool.
I do a thing where it's like Kyle Ferruccio. I always think like, oh yeah, Kyle's my friend and we get along and we're close in age. He's older than me. I have to remind myself, it's like, no, Kyle is older than me. Yeah. It's always that thing.
Kyle's really good. It's really good.
Yeah.
All right. So any other questions?
So we have like kind of a lot of questions in the chat.
Okay.
But we had questions from the week emailed to us.
We'll do lightning round with the chat because those are people who are here right now.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Do lightning round and we'll do the long question.
Yeah. One of the first ones was, what are your thoughts on Mya-Moe and Kamaka? But
Okay. Mya-Moe, I think is it's pretty good considering the materials that they're working with. They're working with like locally sourced materials or as much as they can. Whatever is in that area, but it's not really done by Gordon Shar anymore. So I don't know about the Mya-Moe ukes that they're making now. But back when they were being made by Gordon and Shar, I thought it was pretty good for what it was. It wasn't trying to be anything else than a Mya-Moe ukulele, and that goes same thing to Kamaka. Like Kamaka sounds great. It's not trying to be like anybody else. It is Kamaka. It is kind of the standard bearer, of what it is. I think it sounds great for what it is. It's a cool ukulele that that is pretty much the like the Roger Federer of ukulele, because like it's the goat, like it's not necessarily like how Federer is, like, just he's an all around player. It's an all around ukulele. It's not too bright. It's not too dark. It's not it's a good all around ukulele. And although,
You're
like,
talking about Kamaka, right?
yeah, Kamaka. Come on, I'm talking about Kamaka.
Okay.
All great,
So-
all around ukulele. Like it's all around uke. It's not, like I said, it's not too bright. It's not too dark. It's not too loud. It's not too soft. It is what it is. When you buy a Kamaka, you know what you're getting. Like that's the best thing that I can say about Kamaka. It's just like it's consistent, and once again, it's the word for the day. Consistency. It's consistent with what it is. It's been around for 100 years. They've been making it relatively the same way, as close to the same way as they've been making it throughout the years. They have kind of updated some things, but the sound is consistent throughout the years.
Yeah.
Wait, so what about Mya-Moe?
The same thing with Mya-Moe. Like I said, they it sounds great for what it is, with the materials that that they're working with. It's not trying to sound like a Kamaka. It's not trying to sound like a Kanilea. It's not. So if you're like, oh well, this Kanilea sounds better than that, but it's just like it's really apples and oranges. Like it's bright. The myrtle wood that they use is nice and bright. It definitely projects. It's not as dark as I would want it to be, but like I said, it's not trying to be that. It's great at being Mya-Moe. It sounds good for what it's trying to achieve, and I think it's achieved what it is trying to achieve. It's a nice sounding uke. I think it sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
have
any,
one.
yeah. With any ukulele, we always kind of just recommend that you try it out for yourself, if possible. Go to a store if you can, or watch as many videos online as you can, demonstrating, like as close as possible the model that you're looking at, and then yeah, it's all like a personal thing. So
yeah, it's tough, but if you're asking me what I think, that's what I think. And if you want to hear mine, I believe, I don't know if it's still on their website, but there's a clip of me playing my Mya-Moe on the site, and if it's not there, it's on my YouTube. I think it's on my YouTube. Like yeah, there's a there's a clip of me playing on Mya-Moe, and I enjoy it. I like the one that they built for me. It's good.
Yeah. So the original Mya-Moes were built in Oregon. Was it Oregon or Washington?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
and then now it they got
somewhere in
bought.
Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's a new owner, and they're built out of Illinois. So
that's like super different. Yeah, I have no experience with that one, so I can't say too much about the new Mya-Moes. But back when it was made by Gordon Shaw, I thought it was good.
But I believe he's still using all the same designs and everything. But yeah, I'm not too sure. I haven't heard anybody talking about the new Mya-Moes yet. So
Yep. Next question.
Yeah.
Okay. Kevin asks, how do you memorize lyrics? There are songs that I can sing along completely while the song is playing, but when I play the chords by myself, I can't remember the lyrics or melody.
I shouldn't be the one to ask that. You gotta ask Aaron, because I'm terrible at remembering lyrics. So I mean, my advice is just repetition. But Aaron has great advice.
There's a great new invention called a smartphone, and you just put it on a stand in front of you, and you have the lyrics there.
Oh, I'm good at that. But yeah, Aaron has great advice for this one.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't think it's super professional to have like an iPad on stage, but I mean, it's becoming more and more of a regular thing. Yeah. So,
Yeah, I'm that like old man that yells at cloud, like, nah, you shouldn't do that. If,
yeah.
You know what I mean? If Bruno Mars doesn't have it on stage, then
yeah.
Michael
but
Jackson,
I mean,
none of these guys.
It's kind of an interesting comment that he had. It was that he knows the lyrics and he can sing along to the song, but when he's playing them himself, he can't remember the lyrics. And so that to me suggests that you don't know the chords by heart or by feel. So I think you just got to practice your chord changes to the point where you're not even thinking about the chord changes. You're doing it by feel, like it feels like it has to go to this chord next, or it feels like it has to go to this chord next. And then during this part, during the bridge, it goes to this kind of minory chord. And so you're not thinking about the names of the chord. You're not thinking about like, you know, what chord is going to come up next. You're just doing it by feel. So if you can play along with the song without thinking about anything else, then you can put the two together. So like you're able to sing the lyrics without thinking too much about what lyrics come up next. But then I think he's focusing a little bit too much on the chord part. So you just got to get comfortable with the chords. And then once you have both things comfortable, then you can put them together.
Yeah.
If
you are
that makes
comfortable
sense
with it, but then you still like me, I'm comfortable with the chord changes, but I still can't remember the lyrics once. What same thing with him, because I kind of understand like if it's on the radio and I'm like singing along and stuff, I can sing along with the thing, but I just can't remember lyrics. Do you have any advice for that, Dr.
No,
Heron?
I mean, for you, it's usually like once you get the first lyrics, you know the rest of the song. Right? So like so it's just that you're like kind of getting trapped up on those first few lyrics, but then after that you're just letting it flow. So that's all it is, right? You're just getting comfortable, like getting over that first little hump, and then once you're over that, then you're comfortable with the whole thing, and you're just letting it go. So that's the point that you need to get to, just let it go, right? Be able to just play without thinking, sing without thinking, and then being able to do those things together kind of takes practice. And so you're gonna have to do it, you're just gonna have to do it over and over again until you don't have to think about it, because at the beginning of anything that you're learning new, you're thinking too much about it, and then you just have to get to that point where you don't have to think. So
okay. Next up,
okay. Patrick said, I spend most time learning chords and progressions over songs. Is that okay?
Learning chord progressions over songs. Yeah, I mean, like it's fine. I mean, honestly, it's okay, because most songs kind of fall under a chord progression anyway. You know, like that's what I kind of focused on when I was starting. Because if you can play one chord progression, then that means you could play like 50 like 100 songs. So it's not a bad thing to learn progressions. But once you're starting to get kind of specific, like specific songs, like that chord progression might be half the battle. It might just have a different progression during the bridge. So in that sense, if you're very familiar with chord progressions already, you only really have to learn just the bridge, you know, like, so it's I think it's good to learn to focus on progressions rather than the songs. But it doesn't mean that you shouldn't focus on songs, because I think you should.
Yeah.
Next.
That's a funny thing where we've had people come in and they're like, oh, I'm an intermediate because I can play 100 songs, but they're all in the key of C. And it's like, okay, sure. So that's one of those things. Like if you're learning,
can you play one song in 100 keys? That's even more impressive. I should make a quote like that.
It's like the Bruce Lee quote, right? That everybody says, like, "Oh, I'm not afraid of the man who knows 1,000 punches. I'm afraid of the man who can punch." Well, like perfectly 1,000 times or whatever.
So it's not about like, I know what would the quote be? It's not about learning 10 songs about like, or learning or being able to play 10 songs. Not impressive. What's impressive is learning one song and 10 keys.
Jim said, it's interesting. I'm a beginner on uke. I played brass instruments from grade school through high school. I played some 5-string banjo for a while. Some of the chords you guys mentioned as beginner chords are difficult for me, yet I can hit the E on the first attempt. Anything that requires barring my index finger on the E and A string kills me. Are there any tricks to barring the B or B flat?
Well, if you say you're pretty good at barring and stuff, I mean, you can just bar the whole chord, and then you can just kind of get used to doing it that way. And then if you're pretty good, because you said you're good at E, So I'm guessing you can bar this, this pointer finger really well. So just bar the B flat and the B, and then once you're getting used to it, like lessen the bar, like just bar three strings instead of all four, and then you reduce it down to two strings, and that's kind of how you work your way down. You don't necessarily have to learn it this way, but it helps with some chord switches. Like for example, if you're playing F, B flat is going to be the four, in that chord family. So like you're going to it kind of often. So going from F to barring the whole B flat might be a little tedious, and it's just easier to just kind of bar it with just a two. But you can kind of start that way and just work your way down. That's my best advice. If you can already do that, perfect.
Yeah. That's better than not being able to do that.
It's impressive.
The advice I give to like everybody who has problems barring chords too is make sure your thumb is pointed towards your headstock. Yes. Because a lot of times people use the pinching thing.
Pinchy. Yeah, don't pinchy. And that's what I said back then. I am
Can
now
you show
redacting.
that?
Okay. I am now redacting my statement of pinching the chords. So back then I used to tell people, when you're playing, say, B minor, like pinch it, like this. But then now I'm saying to, instead of pinching it, you should actually do the same thing, but have it not hover over the same finger. Have your thumb point towards the headstock like this. So you can see that. That's where my thumb is. It's pointing towards the headstock, and have it here. And you're doing more of a seesaw thing. Like you're pushing with the pointer finger and with the thumb, but then not in the same place, because this will kind of cramp up, and it's actually not even that that great. But here you're kind of doing this movement where the thumb kind of pushes down, the pointer finger pushes up in this sense. So you're kind of not clamping. I don't even know what word to use, but like it's a seesaw kind of thing, with the pointer and the thumb. Thumb points to the headstock instead of pointing up to the sky.
Yeah, that probably will help with the B flat too.
Yeah.
Yes.
So B flat is this. So instead of like holding your thumb over the pointer finger like so, I'm holding my thumb back here, doing that.
Yeah,
kind of this.
That helps with, like, I think the thumb is what most people, when they say, "Oh, I have problems holding a chord," it's like a lot of the time it's just your thumb placement, and people are trying to do trying to add more pressure by putting it directly behind your fingers, but it doesn't need to be that way. It's actually better if it is like pointing towards the headstock. So yeah. That's like 80% of the problems.
It is.
Yeah. I think we got through all the questions on the live chat.
Okay, great. Now give me the long one.
That was the long one that we got. We got a couple more questions from other people. Okay. So this one is from Wesley, and he says, "When do you choose to play soprano, and what are your first ukulele memories?"
I choose to use soprano if it's mostly kind of strumming, like if I'm not doing any kind of picking and stuff. I use the tenor on stage because I have to strum and pick. But if I'm just at home, if I'm just kind of doing strumming, that's when I choose to play soprano, because and I've said before that like soprano is pretty much like the purest sound of the ukulele. If you're looking for an ukulele sound, it's going to be a soprano ukulele. It's not the sound of a tenor ukulele. That's not the pure ukulele sound. So especially when doing recording, if I'm recording a rhythm tracks, if it's just kind of just strumming, I use a soprano for that. But if I can only bring one ukulele to the studio, then it's gonna have to be tenor, kind of like just being on stage and stuff. With that said, I use few sopranos. I use a regular soprano with a high G. I use a soprano with a low G, and I also use a soprano with a super soprano with more frets, but keeping the same body so that it's got the same sound. And what was the second? What was the second part of that question? Earliest ukulele memory.
Yeah.
Earliest ukulele memory was the first time I played an ukulele. I still remember this. I was at a church, a worship practice, you would say, but in the Catholic version, whatever the Catholic version of that is, that's what I was doing. And it was at like worship practice, and there's this lady playing an ukulele, and I was trying to learn how to play guitar with my uncles and my dad and stuff. I'm like, and might have been 8, 9 years old, and I was like, Dad, can I just play that? That looks that looks like something more my my speed, my
Size.
size, my size. And then I went up to the lady and I like kind of asked her like, is it cool if I try it out? And she's like, oh yeah. And that's when I first held an ukulele. She taught me how to play surf, and the rest is history. That's the earliest ukulele memory, the earliest ukulele memory that I have.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
What about you, Kai?
Well, you Kahai? What's your earliest?
Before you can remember.
Yeah. Just because, my dad's been playing ukulele my whole life, so it's always been there, you know. My first, like, kind of really good memory is apparently my dad had a really expensive 10-string ukulele that he put on the kitchen table, and I threw car keys on it and dented it or something. And he remembers that, but I don't remember that. I have no recollection. I didn't
he
do
remembers that.
Yeah, that wasn't me.
How old were you?
I don't know. It must have been your other child. You have to ask Kira, because I have no recollection of that. Not me.
How about you, Eric?
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
Oh,
I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry, Kai. I thought you're done.
No, yeah.
I don't know. I just like, I had a toy ukulele when I was a little kid, and I put a bunch of stickers on it just because that was like, you know, I was a little kid. And recently I found that ukulele.
Oh, snap.
That toy
you gotta
ukulele.
show it.
So,
You gotta show it.
Yeah, so I added it to my collection. Yeah.
Cute. What kind of uke was
But
it?
that's, I don't know. It was just a toy. It was one of those that said Hawaii on it, and it was
okay.
super overbuilt and not really playable.
Cute.
But yeah, I still have it. I found it again.
Well, one
one
of the things that I actually do remember is asking my dad to play ukulele, and when I asked him, he didn't want to give me a real ukulele, so he gave me one of those cheap ones too, but it was strung up with fishing line instead of real strings.
The best kind of strings, man.
No, it wasn't good fishing line either.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure it might have been like used fishing, like straight off of his fishing pole line. You know, it's like and then once I got it, I looked at it. I'm like, there's something wrong with this. This isn't right. How come mine doesn't look like yours? He's like, yeah. I'm not gonna give you this one.
That toy ukulele that I have actually has fishing line on it now because the strings end up breaking and everything.
Right.
And my dad strung it up with fishing line, and it was all the same pound test. So they're all exactly the same.
All right. So it is the Thursday that our songs are due, and that's why I'm kind of like, okay, cool. Next question.
Yeah,
we have 9 minutes left. It is due today, so we had a here on Thursday Live Lesson we have a songwriting challenge, and we encourage everyone to write a song with their ukuleles. We give people about 3 weeks, 4 weeks to do each challenge. And this week's challenge, or this time, our challenge was I have this written down here on my phone, my trusty phone here. It is the challenge is basically just to do a song, or write a song in the key of B flat. Okay. The extras were to do a waltz, which is 3/4 time, which is dun 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 1 2 3 1 2 3. It has to be happy, it has to be positive. And another extra is the key change to B flat minor. So B flat, Q, B flat, and key change to B flat minor. So those are it. But all you had to do really was write a song in B flat. Okay, that's the only song requirement. But everything else is extra. So I wrote a song, and I tried to cross out as many of those as I can. So it is in the key of B flat. It does kind of go into a waltz there. It's happy-ish. It's positive. So this is here we go. Wait, sorry. Kahai, you wanna go first? I gotta listen to it again. Sorry. wait. Yeah, no, go ahead.
Yeah, I can go.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I'm not ready.
Yeah. Hopefully this works. I might have to mute you guys.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, just in case it comes through the speakers. But yeah. Hopefully this works. Everybody should hear it.
Is that it? Nice.
Yep.
Nice, man. What's B flat?
Mm-hmm.
So I like it, but I'm laughing because because in the key of B flat, that's like in concert C, like for band. Is that why
Mm-hmm.
you did like kind of like a band sounding march and stuff?
No. My idea was that
Mhm.
it's like the first level of like a JRPG, like right after you like, leave the village and you're in the overworld and you're just walking. And
Uh-huh.
like actually this version of the song or this song is my fourth attempt at writing a song. Like all the other ones just weren't working, so like I had to come up with this, and I
Mhm.
came up with this last night, and we thought Mike was gonna be on the live lesson. So when I thought
Yeah.
about Mike, I remember like, oh, the last time Mike was on, like I wrote like another video game song. So maybe I should do one more. So that's why I came up with that. It's like try to make the idea, and then the prompt that it's supposed to be happy, right? I tried to make it like a happy March song and stuff. So yeah, very simple, and it just repeats itself, and then like it's one of those songs that you kind of get tired of after a while listening to the background noise. So it's like
Mhm.
not too complicated or anything. Yep.
Nice. It's like a hero's tale, like the beginning of a hero's tale.
Yeah.
All right, so once again, because I had to, I've been muting myself so I can kind of listen to what I have. I know it's like COVID and whatever, and we're supposed to be stay home, but I actually wrote this morning. I still waited till the last possible minute. Did you write yours like ahead of time, Kai?
No, I finished mine today at like 11 o'clock. Like, because I wrote like four other songs, like, or I tried
Yeah.
to. At first, I
Oh,
tried to write like kind of a future based song or like a really happy song. And even like Trent, he put in the
yeah.
chat, when we set this challenge, he put in the chat
Mm.
speed metal. So I was like, oh, I'll
Yeah,
write
yeah.
a
Oh,
speed metal
snap.
song. And I have part of it written down, and
Yeah.
maybe I'll post the rest, but like, yeah,
Mm.
this was the only one that I could get this far into, and I only finished it today. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay, here. I'm gonna try to play as best as I can. I wrote this today. It goes like this. I'm not exactly what you'd call a morning person, 'cause thought of ending my cool dream of singing for Randy Jackson would wake me up. But wait, I need more than Folgers in my cup. Good morning, time to smell the fried rice sizzling on the stove. Good morning, can't wait to see what this day has in store. And the smell of spam is dancing on my nose. I think I'll have time to smell the fried rice sizzling on the stove. Good morning, can't wait to see what this day has in store. And the smell is dancing on my nose. I think I'll have an extra slice of toast. That's it. That's what I got. That's what I got. That's what I got. Yeah. So I had to listen to that 3/4 part. I'm like, how did that part go? That's like an important part. Okay, got it. So it's about breakfast. I love breakfast. It's happy because I get to wake up to the smell of spam.
Yeah, you did a good job with like that minor, keeping that minor key change.
Yeah,
still
happy.
pretty happy.
That's like the happiest part.
Yeah.
I was like, I wanted to make sure that the minor part is the happiest part of the song. So there it is.
Yeah,
It's as best as I could do. With the time given, I was so busy. The circus was in town. The my wife was, and my daughter. Just forget it. It was just so busy.
Had to go so many places and do so many things.
Yeah, it was just filled with just busy things.
Yeah, Devin said the key change reminds him of a Beatles song, and it kind of does sound like Lucy in the Sky or something, right? Where it changes like so drastically that it's almost like a different song. But yeah.
Cool. Thanks. Okay,
all right. Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's positive. It's not necessarily like a happy sounding song. I ended up I wrote the chords first, and then I had to kind of like arrange it. So it ended like I wrote the major part first, and then the minor part, and then I ended up switching it around. So like the verses are the minor. It starts off minor, and then it goes major for the chorus, which is not really what you were talking about when you, when you said. But this is how it came out. So like it has to. All
right. Shoot. Try again. Sorry.
Okay.
Like I don't know why. Like it's got hard to hear.
Okay. Maybe he has to disable the thing too.
Yeah, you might have to
disable. Yeah.
Yeah. Go into the advanced settings of Zoom, and or go into the settings of Zoom and the sound settings, and then there's like an advanced part, and you have to disable all of that.
Good. Where do I go?
On the bottom left,
audio setting.
Yeah, audio settings, and then on the bottom right of that has the advanced,
and
then the audio processing. Just disable all of that except for echo cancellation.
Okay.
Yeah, should be
disable.
All good.
Is that
there? It is. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, got it. Did you guys see the SNL skit about Zoom?
Yes.
It was like really, really good.
It's pretty accurate. It's pretty accurate.
Pretty accurate. Okay, here we go. See. Darkest moments that we lived through, the only thing that would give me the strength to hold on was that it was your hand I could cling to. You commandeered the ship of my fears in the night, and then we sailed right through. So my dear, no matter where we may go from here, it's with you, the only one that my heart will sing to. If everything broke before you, I'd do anything to make sure you don't. I keep holding on to your love, love. Ooh. If everything broke before you, I'd do anything to make sure you don't. I keep holding on to your love, love, love. carry the torch, rally resources behind you. There will be no doubt in your mind, I'll behind every friend or fortune to find you. And together we'll go on, a love stronger than the beating sun. We are one, and no wonder these hearts will grow fonder. Each night that we face, we'll replace with a light song. Ooh, if everything broke before you, I'll do anything to make sure you don't. I'll keep holding on to your love, love. Ooh, if everything broke before you, I'll do anything to make sure you don't. I'll keep holding on. I'll keep holding on.
Yeah. It started out sounding like a Rob Thomas song, and then it ended up sounding like a what is that?
It sounds like
like a police, or like, oh, not police.
To me, it sounds like the Gorillaz, Feel Good Inc.
Oh yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of had like for the verses, I kind of had like a Bon Jovi-ish.
Yeah, like an 80s kind of like rock band.
80s rock, yeah, or late 80s rock.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of, and then for the choruses, I was thinking like Lenny Kravitz-ish, that style 90s, early 90s rock. But then that Rob Thomas kind of like, you know, it like there is a line in there that that I ended up having to change because it said midday sun, and I was like, that's too close. That's way too close. Yeah.
Like it started out like that. I'm like, man, it sounds like, you know, sounds like Rob Thomas, but it's like 80s, like an 80s rock band.
Yeah.
Cool.
And
cool,
so that's what came out. Like I had the chords first, and then that's just what came out. So
cool. So what was the changes in the chorus or that major part? So you went from minor to
major.
Major. And then the second chord is funky. I like that second chord from there.
Oh yeah, it's like a C sharp.
Nice. That's what it was. I'm like, that's so good.
Yeah. So that's what kind of made me think like Lenny Kravitz, you know. But that
would be like
Yeah.
I got you now.
Yeah. So that's why. But yeah, it was one of those where like I wrote the chords like the first week, and then I didn't write anything, and then I was like, oh, I really need to figure out something, and then this is just what came out.
Us too, me and Kahai too, you know, we were like, oh man, like we're so ahead of ourselves that, you know.
I like but Aaron says like, oh, sometimes you gotta write the bad songs first to get out the good songs, but I feel like I have to write a lot of bad songs to get one song that I'm like, oh, this is okay. Yeah,
I have a lot of bad songs to get out of my system still.
So yeah.
Right.
I might post like some of the my half finished stuff like in the forums so people can see, and maybe they can take it and do something cool with it. But I think like for people who are like, oh, I don't know how to start, it's like sometimes you gotta start like, and you just gotta throw away a bunch of stuff, unfortunately.
So if you guys want to try it out, it's just the key of B flat. Just try to make it like happy, positive, or that kind of feel, you know, to it. You can do 3/4 time if you want to do 3/4 time, and you can do a B flat minor key change or chord change or whatever, you know, whatever it is that you guys want to do. Just be creative with it, have fun. You don't even necessarily have to write lyrics. You can just write like a, you know, like an ukulele kind of instrumental song if you want to do that as well. Okay, try it out. Post it on Ukulele Underground Plus so we can see it, and whoever puts it in. Are we still kind of giving stuff away for this one?
We can try and figure it out.
The post office works, I guess.
Yeah.
There's people at the post office who can send stuff. Okay, so we'll do like a little drawing. You know, if you guys we'll do a little drawing for whoever puts in a song on the forums, and we'll just take all those people and we'll randomly pick somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sounds good. All right. So that pretty much does it for Thursday live lesson. Join us tomorrow for Aloha Friday live jam. And if you guys want to learn some more, stick around for one-on-one coaching. You guys can participate in that. And I know all the private lessons slots this month has been kind of has been occupied already. So if you want, you can join us on one-on-one coaching, and that would be the next best thing. Yeah, join us there. I'll see you folks next time. Have a great one. Aloha.